Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I hope you had a wonderful day. Now let's talk. Okay, so we're going to our this is the series where America collapsed. As you know, there's war. So I just fixed it, so now you see all of the map, not just sections. And so, let's go to East Africa. And something major happens with Kenya and Tanzania uniting. And they call this the EAF. Which, honestly, I guess you guessed that would be what it would be called. And as this happens, the first unification happens for this union. And then comes South Sudan, whose vote finishes and they join. To come the DRC after. Rwanda's then comes. And it's taking about a day after the results. Now Burundi's comes. And lastly, Uganda joins. And this is a big moment because it's showing the EAF has formed. It was a big moment. But something random happens in Mali. Like completely random to add to the story. Let's make a country of, well, let's call it Azawad, because we can make that a country. I don't know why I would even do that or even think of it. But I guess I did it. So that's great. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying it so far, this video. And Morocco and Algeria have a bit of tensions, but tensions flare in the Middle East. When, well, a rocket which was tested, right, to go through and do that, right, ended up instead doing this and crashing right there. And the result ain't that great. With Iranian and Saudi Arabian relations deteriorating completely. Although nobody was hurt, it still makes tensions. With it eventually reaching a breaking point when Iran declares war on Saudi Arabia. Which leads to all their allies that join this pact to join. And Iran quickly retaliates. Wait, what? Yep, you heard that right. With all their allies joining, all their strong allies, such as Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Palestine, Yemen, and Libya. And the first thing that happens is, well, Israel takes out Palestine again. And it's quick and swift. But they don't go any further. They hold a stalemate there, with Egypt knowing they're ready to invade Libya. But they don't go right ahead, with Saudi Arabian forces managing to enter. But we forgot about one thing, their main ally, the US. And well, yeah. With them headed for Sinai, which they take the capital of Yemen. But that's only one area. And then they move down to the port city of Aden, which they take. And with that, they have almost half the country in their hold now. I mean, that makes sense. With them landing and taking this island, whatever it's called. And then this happens, with them being taken out. But Iran has a great plan, but will it work? That's a question for after, but they move into Kuwait. Quickly, Iraq takes control of Kuwait. with Iranian forces in Syria crossing the border into Israel and crossing the border into Jordan from Iraq, with Iraq finally crossing a broader front into Saudi Arabia. With Iran landing in Oman and quickly moving into the UAE. And yeah, Israel repels Iran's advance. But I don't know how well they'll be able to do, with Egypt concerned about this. That Saudi Arabia isn't having that great of a time with them moving into Qatar. But we have to remember, Egypt's pretty strong. Yeah, and so is Saudi Arabia. So this might just be the beginning. With Libya attempting something. Because Iran tells them they can easily move and take Cairo, which was a complete fabrication. But this fabrication works. Actually does work. As Egypt starts invading Libya. And Libya's upset at this. With them quickly moving across and doing this. An encirclement and this. But the problem is, they've been sending forces there when they were helping Israel hold on a stalemate in Jordan and in northern Israel, which the bad news is, yeah, they invade themselves now. That Syrian forces and Lebanese forces move in. Israel is really strong too, though. Keep that in mind. But the problem is that, somebody who's helping them has been kicked somewhere else. And that happens. But fortunately for Israel, they aren't going to fall. Although Palestine has been liberated, Israel has a plan. They do this. With Algeria seeing a reason to go to war with Morocco. So Algeria joins Iran's team, which leads to war with Morocco again. Which they knew it would, so that's why they joined, for an excuse. More so. And they move into northern Morocco. Territories they took earlier in the series when these two people went to war. And yeah. Morocco wasn't ready. But there's also mountains protecting. And then they end up only fighting in the north. On one broader front. And they move in. But the problem is that Libya is about to fall. As Egypt starts moving faster and takes the capital. And then it takes the coast. And then it moves to where all the water comes into Libya. From this area has a lot of water, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's right. And then Egypt takes most of the water zone. Underground water. And this is what Egypt does. Is launch down south into Libya. With Libya basically falling over. And Egypt starts moving forces to help Saudi Arabia kick Iran back. But might be a bit late. With Israel taking back all of its territory. Looks like Iran won't be harmed by the treaty. With Israel starting a push into Jordan's land, Saudi Arabia comes up and helps. Kicked back by Arabia, basically Saudi Arabia, with them starting to set up a defensive line here. And well, Egypt and Libya meet for peace. Tripletania, they also split it into Fezzan, and then they call this Chronikia, something like that, along the lines of that, with Iran preparing for its second offensive into the Arabian Peninsula. But, yeah. But somebody claims again that they need to create a bigger safe zone. They claim it needs to be like this. And say unless forces leave these lands, there will be problems. Which soon Turkey gets involved in this conflict. Why? Because it can. And why would because it can be a good way? Because it can be a good way. Iran prepares to move some forces to conscript an army to attack Turkey. With conscription being implemented in Iran, Turkey quickly crosses into Syria, especially SDF control in the war. Yeah, no, just kidding. There's no civil war. It ended in this series, and they invade Iraq. With Israel invading Lebanon, eventually this is what one of the front lines looks like. But this is short-lived being this strong as Iran decides to attack Turkey after conscripting about 15,000 people. Yeah, and right away after they conscript them, they send them to the battlefield. Let's see, will they do well? Well, actually, they do well. Surprisingly. But let's go to the Morocco-Algeria front. Okay, it doesn't look good for Morocco. But then Morocco starts sending more forces. Completely sending their reserve force in. Which was smart on their play. With Algeria's forces leaving these lands and moving here. Because they realize fighting is really going to be up here, so they set up a line of defenses here. Then they set up a line here. They set up another line here with some lines of defenses there. But they forgot one thing. Morocco can just go around them. If they wanted. Which, Morocco sees this. Hey, it doesn't go far south. Morocco sends forces into the scorching desert, as this becomes known as the Third Sand War. With them going below the front lines, and then they move north, which basically broke all of the defenses. Well, yeah, and then they break all these defenses, so basically the plan failed pretty quickly as Algeria loses its capital. And these forces retreat all the way to there, and then this happens. Algeria is forced to surrender to Morocco. So they wait for peace at the end of this war. And while Saudi Arabia launches a big offensive with the help of France and Britain. Wait, what? Yeah, no. France and Britain's not involved, but they sent them intel. But Iraq ain't giving up Kuwait that easily. And well, with Syria's situation becoming unstable, Iran basically moves troops back a bit. And along with Iraq, they hold the defensive. as Syria basically is just Iranian occupation. And well, Iran and Iraq hold the front line, but then Turkey and Morocco starts sending forces all the way over here. So Turkey takes advantage of this to push Iran back. But Iraq is kinda in trouble. Iraq basically agrees to peace under the condition they lose no land. Yeah, keep that, but they get pushed back further. And well, they then say, can we go to peace for giving up these lands? And well, they leave all of these lands and then say, we're ready to negotiate peace. Said Iraq and Iran. Which, let's see how this peace treaty goes. In trouble, getting basically erased. Okay, fine, it was partition. And Algeria lost a bit of land, not much. And then Libya fell in the 30. And let's look here. Well, Syria got shrunk in size. And they banned Syria and Lebanon from joining any alliance for the next 10 years. But they couldn't really for Iraq and Iran. So it stays very likely that they'll go to war again. I'm not going to say how likely, because I'd just spoil it. And they keep their alliance, which they get Afghanistan to join. Well, that's all they can do. With the Somalian regions of Ethiopia in the election voting against joining the EAF for whatever reason, and I don't know why they would. Also, this is just because I want to try and get more views. Ethiopia does not want to let them go, but then they have the next problem. Well, this region declares they want to join Eritrea. Well, this is where a crisis runs into, because all three of these are against each other. Hey, some of these colors are a bit different, so I'm going to fix it. Maybe I was wrong. Could also be it's different, with Somalian regions basically breaking away first. And also, I just made those borders for the Tigray region. I don't think might not even be the same. Then another area declares independence. And they call themselves the Free Ethiopia. I don't know what they can do, or will do. But Ethiopia is kinda in trouble here, as I guess you could imagine. But, yeah. This is going to be disastrous for Ethiopia. Even if they do manage to win, at what cost? I don't know if they can win this. They probably can, but would they be able to? But then again, the last time, Somalia and Eritrea is indirectly in this conflict. Well, Ethiopia has made plans. But you want to see a support map for what sides people are backing? Well, the Tigray region is getting Eritrea's support. And we have Somalia, the Somalian rebels getting Somalia's help, while we have the East African Federation supporting the Free is supported by Sudan, No, they're not in. By Sudan, South Africa, Azawad for some reason or another. And well, Mali supports the blue team, the government. Let's see. Is this enough support? Well, fortunately, their support, they get weapons, and then they use this to attack here. And well, the first fighting begins with them. The first offensive by this team happens in the Somalian rebel-backed lands, but there's another spot they attacked. Well, their attack goes really well. And their attacks go really well, especially in this region, where they have big. Join the EAF. With them launching a surprise attack in one region. Down here. Because with weakness opening up, they attack. To cut these two regions apart. Which in turn boosts their attack there. But the only unfortunate part was it allowed this Tigrayan region to advance. Ethiopia claims these lands to be back under their control. They claim these rebel groups are back under their control. Despite it not fully being, in this region was a big chunk they put back into their own country. And well, during the midst of the fighting, they finally joined the EAF. Wait, what? You may be saying, why would they want a war zone to join? Well, there's two reasons, probably. Stage, you'd look good on the international stage, maybe? I don't know. With this region of free Ethiopia was a failed attempt at changing the government. And well, yeah. Well, whoever is supporting free Ethiopia, well, they're done supporting anyone. And well, yeah. The end of this war is coming. Agrees to stop supporting if they let this area stay alive, which is kind of doesn't go well. As the East African Federation continues to kick them out. They could just give up the rest, they think, but they don't because they don't want it to lose. And well, after seeing this humiliating defeat, Somaliland leaves and says they have an interest in joining the East African Federation for their security. Well, yeah. The Tigray region basically just surrendered in turn for fair treatment, which is agreed upon, luckily. Eritrea is in trouble. But there's nothing they can really do about it. With the East African Federation having formed, having an ally in Mali, well, there's not much that could happen. Like, Russia is basically trapped. They can't move forwards, but they can't. And since the series has to do with this area, well, somebody does something. which is they attack Texas, Mexico does. But what Mexico didn't realize was attacking North Texas and New Mexico probably was a good move, because there was a secret pact between everyone to protect themselves against foreign invasion. Which, as Mexico advances in to Texas, they start to see Californian forces, which confuses them. They thought they were just out of war, but it turns out, yes, they were just at war, but they were making sure Mexico wouldn't try to invade. With Mexico pushing up and taking San Diego. So sad. And well, yeah. Well, Mexico was ready for this. It's like they knew about it, but who would give them secret intel? Well, it turns out it was the Midwest Union was scheming against them. No, I'm kidding. It was really the CSA who was against them. But luckily, the CSA wasn't good at keeping the secret. With Texas collapsing somehow, did they weaken them too much? And Rectangle, Oklahoma says, okay, this wasn't that great. With California all mobilized, they moved back into the Texan lands. And well, yeah. Texas people, yeah, you know, they can do this. Yeah, Texas does this somehow. With the two Texases, yeah. What did I call them? Probably Lincoln and something else. Lincoln and Jefferson, maybe? I don't know why I named them. Why am I coming up with random names? But yeah. With California and them basically sending peace to Mexico. And well, Mexico agrees. And they signed pretty much harshly punished. But they weren't as bad as it could be, with the CSA being a traitor. And treated as such. As they are swiftly, and I mean swiftly, invaded as New Orleans falls within like a day of fight, within a week of fighting. Well, in a month of fighting, this is what's left. And well, they go through the rest. And the CSA, which was not good at all, is gone again. Yep, that's great, they're gone. Well, depends on who you are, too. In this video, if you were, well, them, you would see a point in doing this, because they were traitors. But maybe you don't. Depends on what you see this series and how you want this series to go. Maybe you want to see Egypt take over Russia. But yeah, I have to say that won't happen. But maybe you want to see a war between these two that hasn't happened since 1962 to break out. It's all up to you. So leave a comment. If you have suggestions on what should happen, you should leave it. That might change the way the series goes. You never know. And also, please comment how your day was. Because I'm trying to get you to comment. Because comments are great. As we're at 174 subscribers. So 76 away from 250, which is our goal by April 1st. It's March 6th. So we have 25 days to get there. We can do it, but only if you subscribe. Maybe we won't, but at minimum, we need to get to 200 before that. As I want us to be at 250 by the end of this month, because my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So that's why I'm doing month goals. Yes, a year goal. Think of how big that is. So please subscribe. I hope this made you want to subscribe. And share this video to people you know who might be interested in this, because, let's be honest, maps are awesome. And yeah. And if you disagree with maps being awesome, well, that's sad. So please like and subscribe. Why should you like? Because it's pretty nice to like a video. And comment how you think this series is going so far. Watch some of my other videos. Have fun with Wild Mapper videos, because who doesn't like the ending of all Wild Mapper videos? I think everybody needs to like those. Like, it goes, yeah, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's do the channel talk. I think we should get a different type of content to go with this. Say what content you think, whether it be games or not. But I might have trouble launching a game because of my computer. And application memory might be a problem. So please like and subscribe. That'd be great. Please like, subscribe, comment. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper.